Hello everyone, good afternoon. Today is Monday, September 23rd, 2013. Let's get right into these charts. As you guys know, I've been calling out this pretty much this generally this bigger band of resistance here on this upper trend line that we are headed towards that. And sure enough, I said if we get right there, I'm going to sell some bear call spreads above this trend line. And sure enough, that was the right call last week. And now we're getting a nice pullback off my resistance levels. And now we're actually, we kind of broke this accelerated trend line. I know you're in a bigger trend here, but this is more of a quick accelerated trend line. And this is a more intermediate trend line. And this is even more longer term trend line over here, down here, okay? As you guys know, I've been calling those trend lines out for a while. This is that even longer term trend line. So you have there's your more intermediate, and then these should be more macro, or I'm sorry, more micro trend line right here. We broke that trend line, guys, today. Actually, yesterday, it depends where you draw these lines, but right now, if this was a parallel channel, we did break that, and that does mean that we want to consolidate in this level or pull back. And sure enough, that's what we got right now. And you can see if we kind of just go on a 60-minute chart and pull that trend line, it could be considered a kind of a broadening wedge, or something to that nature. But right now, it's still in a nice uptrend, no matter how you put it. Let's see if we draw it over here. That still can be considered a valid trend line as well. It's kind of a broadening pattern here, but nonetheless, this was support today. Easy day trade, simple, easy money, guys. So a lot of traders think it's impossible to day trade, but you really have to just narrow it down to the best setups. I mean, if you're patient and you weren't just going off blindly off bad setups and getting yourself caught in bad trades, and just wait for beautiful setups like this gap fill, which I played today. You got a doji on the 60-minute chart and rode this up for 3 candles up. Beautiful profit right there. That pretty much was done for the day after I made that day trade. Just a beautiful, perfect touch of gap fill. Easy stop loss and very low risk, high reward. Got a doji candle on a 60-minute chart as well. And it's just a beautiful trade, guys. If you know how to trail that for 3 hours and just got out right as it was an in-spirit touch of this 50 moving average. And that was the way to play it. I mean, it could be more upside, but on the daily chart, I am looking for lower prices for a more sweet spot. I'm looking for this near this. For a swing trade, I think the 618 Fibonacci with this gap fill right here, I think a pierce of these, and as long as you close back above that on a daily basis, you close back, I think you can hold that overnight. But my intraday timing for that next support on the SPY is the 200 moving average. Okay, that would be my timing on that trade right here. 200 moving average at roughly 167.42. And okay, any shot down to there, your next leg down into that area, I believe that could be your entry. Okay, and it can go as low as the 618, but I'll be nibbling right there at the 200. As long as it gets a straight leg down, no consolidation or anything like that. A nice straight break of this trend line. I think that'll be a safe spot to at least minimally just day trade it. Okay, so I'm gonna day trade it for sure, but I'm gonna wait to see how it closes to see if I could swing it for a few days. And you'd like to see it close back above these moving averages on a daily time frame. So on a daily close, you'd like to see it close above these moving averages, maybe recapture this gap window. So that would be, this is also, it could be a nice spot to scalp it, maybe a scalp, not a day trade, but gap window at the 50-day moving average. But whenever you have two moving averages next to each other, it always likes to go to the lower moving average. So that would line up with this gap fill right here. So the next gap fill is definitely going to be some sweet support, guys. I probably will play it the way I played it today, off this day trade, off this gap fill. And that was a beautiful trade there. Okay, guys, so that's what I'm looking for. The upside, obviously, you closed below this level here, which is bearish. You negated this entire move off the FOMC statement, so that's, you got to think that's bearish, So could you close below that big wide range candle on volume as well? So if it wants to see lower prices, let's see it, see it make perhaps a pattern here and go to this next level. But once we start hitting this area over here, guys, I'm already prepared to sell bear call spreads, guys. If you guys know, I like to sell options as well, as long as playing day trades. So I would be selling options below this pivot here. And I actually started nibbling that on that as well. I believe there's that's the max downside. The max open interest, I believe, is roughly in this general vicinity as well. So you think the institutions are going to close it in this general vicinity to maximize their option selling. So when you're selling options, guys, you're pretty much on the institutional side. So that's a really good risk reward as long as you keep an eye on your charts, where support and resistance, and as well as max open interest. Okay, so that's the SPY. Beautiful day trading. on there. Also sold some bull put spreads at that support below these pivots. Okay, so the IWM holding up a little bit better. Did stay above inside this bar, so it's a little bit stronger. It did stay up, inside this bar, so we still have an inside bar pattern on the IWM. Let's look at XPX very quickly. I don't like to jump around too much, but the XPX, you still are holding this little neckline here. At the SPY, it did not, so you can consider this a trend line that it recaptured, and now it's just retesting it here. So that is support. That was another reason why to go long intraday. That was a beautiful spot. See how you line up all these charts? It's just a beautiful thing. Also on the E-mini futures, on the 10-minute chart, on the 60-minute chart, I'm also seeing confluences there, where I told you guys where the SPY will find major support to 618 retrace. You also have moving averages there. I believe a gap fill. I don't have the E-mini future chart up right here, but that's why I came up to that conclusion that this spot is going to be major support, because it actually lines up with the E-mini futures as well. Okay, guys, always got to line up with multiple charts. Okay, guys, so once again, my spot on the SPY, as you guys know, is this gap fill. Okay, guys, and it can go as low as the 200 moving average on the 60-minute chart. So, guys, always look at all those different time frames, and you'll see what I'm looking at. Let's look at the Qs on a daily chart very quickly. Still holding up, this previous pivot high, found support there. Once again, even the Qs found support there. Still staying inside this, last green candle. So that's always a really good reference point, guys. When a reference point when you guys make a big wide range candle, that's always usually the igniting bar, and you always, to stay bullish, you like to see it stay trading inside that and then consolidate inside and make it move higher. But let's see where if it can, trade and hold this low, okay, of this bar. Like I said, the SPY failed to do that, but we have to see what the major levels are from there. Okay, guys, so the SPY, I already mentioned those. Let's go to the next chart. Let's go to Amazon. Amazon is actually hovering right below that major channel as well. Let's see if I have it drawn in. I'm not sure, but if this is the more bigger trend line up here, but let me draw a more intermediate short-term trend line. If you just connect these here, it is right at the top of that. So Amazon is finding resistance here. I do expect a pullback on Amazon. You see, if you did kind of make a nice reversal candle as well. You did, yes, you did. You actually closed below the low. So if you'd like to see more confirmation, if we close below this low of today at roughly 309. Okay, guys, let me see the actual exact low of today. The actual low is actually 308.77. So if we close below that, that's actually confirmation that this is going to be a high put in. Okay, so you can expect it's going to consolidate here and not take out this high anytime soon. And that confirms that too, because you have these trend lines above. So I am expecting a little more weakness on Amazon here. I expect it to pull back. The next support will be a sweet spot to day trade it right here. Might even swing it for a day or two, but dual moving average, you're about to have a bullish golden cross. If you go right into that, and there's also a pivot low. It also looks like a Fibonacci retracement too. If I pull back the chart, let's take a look really quickly. Let's take the fib from, right here, really quick. See if I can. Chart's a little messy, but let me see if I can just get this really quick before I jump to the next chart. Amazon, right here. Let me make it red so I can see it a little more clear. But that spot does look like perhaps a 50% retracement, something to that nature. Actually, it's a 618 right here. So that's a really, really decent spot right there. You have three solid factors for nice, at least, maybe you're not going to swing it, because in a swing trade basis, you're kind of in between the range. So that wouldn't be the best risk reward. But, for a day trade, definitely right here, guys, this pivot. Maybe a scalp, easily a scalp trade. Two moving averages, 618 Fibonacci retracement, and pivot, and $300 even number actually too. So Pierce with a $300 even number. Always think that's going to be a wall of support there for short-term trade there. So that's just another idea on Amazon. Let's go to Apple. Apple bounced off my level beautifully. That that you can consider that an inverse head and shoulder neckline. Never closed back below it. See that? Beautiful. Called that out in my last video. You get a beautiful bounce back right now. So see how this was where they wanted to defend it if you want to see higher prices, and sure enough, beautiful bounce off there. See, I told you, I think you want to see it consolidate here more before it takes out these next highs, as it did over here, consolidated for a while. So so far, Apple doing exactly what I expected. Beautiful chart right there. Let's look at GSS very quickly. I know some traders were asking about this, so you just want to do a quick update on that. Did get that quick little bounce here off my next support level, and sure enough, you're going right to the next level. So this is looking pretty weak now. Okay, now you're getting a death cross here. It didn't continue to uptrend like I wanted to. I said I wanted to bounce here, it did not, and if it did not, it's going to go to the next level. You got a nice little bounce there, and just retesting. You went to two moving averages pretty much again. See how I told you when there's two resistance, they always want to go to the next one. See how this 50 it was resistance obviously, but it went to the next moving average, which was the 20 sloping down, and that's when it actually made it pull back and actually closed below those two moving averages. Next day reversal, and now it looks like, guys, it looks like it's heading towards that double bottom here. So I would be careful now. You do have another pivot here, so that's one more safety reference point there, but after that, it's just this double bottom, obviously. And then from there, I'll be very cautious. Actually, that looks like the downtrend could continue on this stock. Okay, let's look at Nike. Nike does report earnings, I believe Thursday. It's extended chart. I mean, you look at it, it's had a parabolic move. Nothing really wrong with the chart at the moment. It's actually uptrending very nicely. But if you look, I always like to look back where it's gone. It's just been a very beautiful move on Nike. So it does look like it wants to continue trend here. If I draw this upper trend line, it looks like it could be like another rising, broadening channel here if you connect this pivot highs on Nike. But it's a very extended kind of on these charts. If you look at the longer term charts, and it does look like it's at the very high of this channel. So I'd be very cautious here. My major support here's the accelerated trend line. So this is your more intermediate trend line, right? And then this is your more accelerated trend line. And it looks like if it breaks this, which I have that at around 64 and 20 cents and some change, the next support would be roughly $58, and it does line up with the previous breakout area right here. If I extend this line, simple support resistance, simple resistance now becoming support, and it actually meets the measured move. So watch out for this trend line, guys, on earnings. Okay, if you can play it before earnings or after, my best safe way is to play it after earnings. If it does want to test this breakout area at $58, that is your long. You have the rising 50-week moving average, just a weekly chart, guys. You have a 50. It looks like a Fibonacci here. I'm not sure, but that's going to be major support. Let me actually grab a fib. So let me see where I can grab this fib from here. Let's just grab it from the recent major pivot, which would be this one right here, and to see what kind of Fibonacci you get as well. And it looks like a 50% retracement from what I'm seeing. Yeah, that's actually a 50% retracement right there at that. So this area right here, $58, that's your previous breakout area. And also on the daily chart, you also have another major moving average, which is the 200. So up here, so the 200, and even right here, $59 is actually very decent. 59.42, roughly in that vicinity. You have a rise in 200. You have an uptrend on all time frames. So whenever you have an uptrend on all time frames, you do expect the uptrend to resume, and the saying, the trend is your friend. So you do expect that the trend will continue on Nike, but anything could happen. Any of these charts can just turn around at any moment, so you have to be ready for those levels. Okay, so this is the gap window as well on the daily chart, $58, and also have more support at gap fill. But this is my spot right here to see major support at Nike at the time being. Okay, guys, is there anything else I want to take a look at? Take a quick look at Google. I didn't look at that for a while, but just do a quick few ganders at Google. Still, it did recapture these moving averages, but it is near these, pivot highs here. So is this could be a higher low at the moment. So we have to really watch for that. It could be making a head and shoulders too. So it looks like it made a little head here, shoulder and head. So let's see if it can hold this area. This is actually your trend line. This is more very micro sense, okay, not looking at the bigger time frame. It's just where it is at the moment, just holding these moving averages now. So that's your reference point, and see what kind of pattern it makes up here. But nothing really to do on Google at the moment. Let's pull back and see if there's anything else. Not really looking at much else. Looking at really the SPY this week, waiting for that level to trigger. That's your major level on the SPY. Oh, actually, as you guys know, I like to go over the SPY. That's my main objective. Okay, so I've always kind of start off with SPY and then close on that. Obviously, your next support would be, if this fails, this is going to be fast and furious too. If this level fails, 'cause that's really major, 618. I think it's headed back towards. It could easily head back towards this 163 level, and ultimately this 200 moving average that's riding. Before I mentioned the 200 at this pivot, now it's actually meeting up with this consolidation period, so that will be your next spot with the 200. You like to see a 200 moving average line up with some consolidation, a nice pivot, round number, Fibonacci, something to that nature. So let's wait for that, see what happens. We did have a nice 3-day pullback already, which is a special number, important number. So we'll see how it all reacts over here. It should hold this gap if you want to see it hold, and also it has this nice trend line here. So let's see how it goes from there. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm ready to play these levels. As these levels come down, I'm ready to play them, and I'm ready to scalp them. and ready to trade. Okay, guys, hope you guys are ready for that as well. Hope you guys keep following my videos. Keep up. Next week or next few days, I will update you guys very quickly with anything I see. And I hope you guys have a great trading day. Hope you guys had a great trading day. Hope you guys have a great trading week. And I will talk to you guys next time. Have a good day.